Tonight, the Send Her Back chant and the growing outrage. After those charged words at his rally tonight, President Trump and our Jon Karl asking him, did his own words, his own tweets lead to those chants? The president responding, saying he wasn't happy with the chants. John then asking why he didn't ask the crowd to stop. The dangerous, potentially life-threatening heat tonight, the warnings, more than 30 states now. It'll feel like 108 in Detroit and in D.C., 109 in Philly, 108 in New York City. Ginger Z times it out. The major chemical scare amid this heat today, the fire igniting the injuries, and residents for a time told to shelter in place, to turn off their air conditioners. Jeffrey Epstein in court today arguing he should be allowed out on bail. What the judge ordered and the one word he used to describe Epstein. News coming in late today, the U.S. taking military action, a U.S. Navy ship destroying an Iranian drone. Martha Raddatz is live. The horrific massacre overseas, we're learning more tonight. More than 30 people killed when that man doused this building and what he yelled right beforehand. Back here at home tonight, two major bus scares, one full of children returning from youth camp catching fire. And the school bus, the driver suffering a medical emergency crossing the center line. That other driver there running to board the bus while it's moving. Your health, coffee, and cancer, the new study in tonight. And America Strong, the Vietnam veteran, and now an entire community answering the call.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night, and we'll get to the sweltering heat and now the warnings in just a moment. But first, the growing heat and outrage after the president's tweets, and overnight those chants at the president's rally, the crowd chanting, "Send her back." Those chants after the president took aim at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the crowd in North Carolina then offering those words, "Send her back." But tonight, Jon Karl asking the president if his own tweets led to all of this. The president taking no responsibility but saying, quote, he was not happy with it. So John asked, why didn't the president ask the crowd to stop? Jonathan Karl leading us off.
Today, President Trump disavowed the words of his own supporters. He turned his tweet suggesting four Democratic congresswomen go back to the countries they came from into a chant. The chant was loud and long. Today, I asked the president why he let it happen.
Why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you ask them to stop saying that?
Well, number one, I think I did. I started speaking very quickly. It really was a loud, I disagree with it, by the way, but it was quite a chant, and I felt a little bit badly about it.
So you'll tell your supporters never to say that again?
I would say that.
That
I was not happy with it. I disagree with it. But again, I didn't say that, they did, but I disagree.
But they were echoing what you said in your first tweet, that they should go back.
Well, I don't think if you examine it, I don't think you'll find that, but I disagree with it.
But you'll stop them if they try to do it again.
Well, I didn't like that they did it, and I started speaking very quickly.
Listen for yourself. As President Trump criticizes Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the chant plays out for 13 seconds. The president doesn't speak again until it dies down.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds. And she talked about the evil Israel.
Later today, I asked him to speak directly to the people in that crowd.
What would your message be to your supporters who are making that chant? And would you?
Well, these are people that love our country. I want them to keep loving our country. And I think the congresswomen, by the way, should be more positive than they are. The congresswomen have a lot of problems.
The president disavowed the chant after a growing outcry from his fellow Republicans. A Republican congressman from North Carolina who was at the rally tweeted he, quote, struggled with the chant and that the words were, quote, painful to our friends in the minority communities. Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy told reporters, quote, those chants have no place in our country. But then he defended the president.
He never joined in it, and you want to try to hold him accountable for what something in a big audience? Are you going to hold him accountable, too, for whatever any protesters or something else do? I think that's an unfair position.
Outside the Capitol building, Congresswoman Omar was swarmed by cameras.
This is not about me. This is about us fighting for what this country truly should be and what it deserves to be.
So let's get right to Jon Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, Republican members of Congress made a direct appeal to the White House that this chant cannot happen again.
The president has heard directly from several key Republicans, and this morning the vice president got an earful from Republican leaders at a breakfast meeting in the House. They told him they were disturbed by the chant, worried about the political blowback, and asked him to relay that message directly to the president, which he said he would do. That said, David, I see no indication that the president has any regrets whatsoever over his own words or any plans to tone down his rhetoric.
Jon Karl leading us off tonight. John, thank you. Now to the major heat wave threatening much of the country tonight. 175 million Americans in 33 states, and for many, this is the hottest weather in years. The heat index, the feel-like readings, well over 100 and now spreading. 107 in D.C. tomorrow, 105 in Philly, 107 in Chicago, and it will last into the weekend, feeling even warmer by Saturday. And tonight, authorities are warning this combination of heat and humidity could be life-threatening. ABC's Alex Perez in Chicago.
Tonight, that heat wave has more than half the country sweltering after lightning-packed deadly storms rocked the Northeast. Torrential downpours turning New York's subways into waterfalls and sending thousands at this outdoor event scrambling for safety. In Connecticut, a lightning strike sending a large tree limb crashing onto a car. The driver rushed to the hospital. He did not survive. This as heat, humidity, and stifling air smother much of the country.
Feels like 108. Maryville, 109. This is serious.
In Wichita, it felt like 108 degrees Wednesday. A bad day to be laying hot asphalt.
When it does get hot like this out here, we do take plenty of breaks.
Chicago roofer John Weidel facing long hours exposed to the sun.
It can be a lot hotter up there with the direct sun beating down on us.
The city's mayor warning residents.
These are life-threatening temperatures and conditions, and we all have to work together to remain safe.
Even commuter trains ordered to slow down to ease the stress on the hot tracks. New York City bracing for a 100-degree temperature this weekend. After last weekend's blackout, officials say the grid will hold up.
We've got over 4,000 crew members on the ground ready to respond to outages as they occur.
And David, by far tomorrow is supposed to be the hottest day of the year here. Feel like temperatures of about 110 degrees, and that's just the beginning. The oppressive heat is expected to linger through the weekend. That cumulative effect, that's the most concerning. David?
That's right. All right, Alex Perez, our thanks to you again tonight. Unfortunately, this heat wave is just getting started, so let's get right back to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee tonight. She's tracking it all. Ginger?
Hey. Good evening to you, David. You know, we start Hartford, Connecticut, or Washington, D.C., places that have not seen 100-plus degrees in 3 years. Philadelphia, New York City, it's been 7 years. I think all 4 plus dozens of others are going to see that century mark this weekend. Look at the map there. That is a ridge of high pressure, the jet stream that acts as that kind of fence to keep the cool air. It is so far north. Look at Lincoln, feels tomorrow afternoon like 112, Des Moines 108, Chicago 107. The core that is circled there of the hot air slides east, and by Saturday it settles in so that Richmond, Virginia's 112 feels like. The heat index in New York City and Philadelphia will approach 110. Even the overnight lows could be some of the warmest we've seen in years, if not records, David.
Wow, that circle of heat you showed on the map there, that is extraordinary. Ginger, thank you. Let's keep an eye on our neighbors throughout all this. In the meantime, amid this blistering heat, the major scare at a chemical plant, a fire igniting here in the Northeast, then leading to a chlorine spill. Residents told to shelter in place for a time and to turn off their air conditioners as hazmat crews rushed to the scene. Lindsay Davis with the images from East Rutherford, New Jersey tonight.
Fire command to all responding units, proceed with caution. We have a chlorine spill.
Tonight, 2 injured after a chemical spill at this plant. Workers still inside as 2 fires broke out, causing a suspected chlorine leak.
Next thing you know, it was a puff of smoke, and everybody just scrambled out. We saw it, we cut off our machines, and we started scrambling out the exits.
Hazmat crews rushing to the East Rutherford, New Jersey facility. The incident forcing officials in the town west of New York City to tell residents to stay indoors and shut off their air conditioning despite the sweltering heat.
Officials say that fire started because machines were left on and no one was monitoring them. But late in the day, authorities did lift that shelter-in-place order after air quality readings came back as safe David.
Lindsay, thank you. We're going to turn next here to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, whose lawyers made their case that he be allowed out on bail tonight. What the judge has now decided, and the judge saying Epstein had an uncontrollable sexual attraction to conduct with underage girls. ABC's Tom Yamas was in court.
Tonight, disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein realizing there was one thing his millions couldn't buy: freedom. A judge denying him bail, siding with prosecutors that Epstein is both a risk of flight and a danger to the community.
There was a time when the United States government sadly failed our clients 10 years ago or so. Those days are now apparently behind us.
Epstein, who pleaded not guilty to the sex trafficking of underage girls, proposed a bail package that would have had armed guards and security cameras inside his Manhattan mansion. But prosecutors called that a gilded cage, and the judge agreed.
If you're a victim of sexual abuse, your voice should be heard. Period.
The judge also citing Epstein's accusers, Courtney Wild and Annie Farmer, who testified he was still a threat. The judge also troubled by what agents found in that raid of his mansion and inside of a locked safe. Sexually explicit photos and discs, $70,000 in cash, dozens of diamonds, and an Austrian passport with Epstein's photo but a different name, and Saudi Arabia as the country of residence. Epstein, who owns mansions and islands, will now spend the next several months in a concrete cage.
And Tom Yamas with us live tonight outside federal court. He's been covering this case from the start. And Tom, the judge releasing his ruling late today, which actually revealed even more about his decision.
That's right, David. The judge saying at the heart of this case and his decision was the topic of danger. He and the court feared for the victims in this case, but also potential new victims if Epstein were to be let go. And David, I want to point out the next step now is trial. The judge saying in his ruling the evidence against Epstein appears strong. David?
All right, Tom, our thanks to you again tonight as well. We are learning of new tension with Iran at this hour. President Trump revealing late today that an American warship, the USS Boxer, had taken military action against an Iranian drone. Martha Raddatz has late reporting now.
The USS Boxer, an amphibious assault ship, was transiting through the Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil passageway, when the president says an Iranian drone approached the Boxer, coming within just 1,000 yards.
The Boxer took defensive action against an Iranian drone, which had closed into a very, very near distance, ignoring multiple calls to stand down, and was threatening the safety of the ship and the ship's crew.
The drone was not shot down. The Marines brought it down with counter-drone jamming equipment. It was less than a month ago that Iran shot down a far more sophisticated and expensive U.S. drone. And today, just before that Iranian drone was destroyed, Iranian state TV says its Revolutionary Guard forces seized a foreign tanker and its crew, accusing them of smuggling fuel.
So Martha's live in our Washington bureau tonight. Martha, any reaction from Iran this evening yet?
David, the reaction from Iran has been pretty muted. The foreign minister saying he had no information about losing a drone, but did point out in a tweet that the Persian Gulf is off Iran's coast, implying the U.S. should stay out of its neighborhood. David?
All right, Martha, our thanks to you as well. Overseas tonight, we are learning more about that horrific arson attack shocking all of Japan tonight. A man setting an animation studio on fire, quickly engulfing the entire building, and the numbers are staggering. At least 33 people were killed, and what he said right beforehand. Here's ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell tonight.
Tonight, a suspect in custody as Japan mourns the victims of an horrific arson attack that's left at least 33 dead. The blaze broke out in this three-story building, home to Kyoto Animation, a major studio. A man in his 40s entered. Witnesses say shouting, "Die, die," pouring highly flammable liquid and setting it alight. There were some women inside, and firefighters broke the window and pulled them out, this man says. In all, 70 people were inside the building. Barely half made it out alive. At least 22 of those killed died in the stairwell trying to escape. The studio boss says they'd received death threats, but it's unclear if those were connected to this tragedy.
The suspect reportedly not an employee and didn't have any ties to the company. The police now trying to work out the motive. David?
Ian Pennell with us tonight. Ian, thank you. And an emotional hearing back here at home on Capitol Hill over conditions at migrant detention centers here in the U.S. Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Kevin McAleenan answering